Hello students, I just wanted to give you a little tutorial here on some of the resources available to you in Blackboard. So we'll take a look at the module student activities folder, assessment folder, and a couple of other links here for you. So let's start out by looking at Start Here folder. So I've got a shortcut in here up on the upper left. You can just click into. And here's where our syllabus and our schedule of activities is. In that, you're going to see the activities, the schedule for due dates for our projects, different assessments, and when the modules should be completed by. And of course, on our syllabus, we have information about our textbook here, which is going to be available to you for free. In Skillport, book by Mike Myers, and there's the site here, and I'll demonstrate that for you in just a second on how to access that. So moving back to the start here, you can just say the other information. I'm sure you're familiar with it because your student introduction was here and the Start Here quiz was there. Now if you click into the content folder, you'll see all the modules laid out here. Assessment Center is where the midterm and final are, and I'll talk about that in a minute. We have course announcements. Right now, by default, I have the course announcements as the page that opens up first for you. When I do send you an announcement here, it also goes to your IRSC email. So there's 2 notifications that you can get when I do send some information out. In this case, the last thing I sent out was about our Blackboard sessions being on Wednesday between 12:30 and 1:30. That'll be every Wednesday between 12:30 and 1:30, an hour live session for you to log in and ask me anything you want. I can go over whatever you need. If you miss it, you're working or something else comes up, I am going to record those sessions. Speaking of the recorded sessions, they're going to be located in a folder off your content folder in recordings, and I'll be putting them in this folder here so you can access them. Okay, so let's take a look at the modules. Okay, study activities. Okay, so you'll probably see 5 or 6 things in each module for study activities. In Module 1 here, I do have the link for you to get out to Skillport to access your textbook. Go ahead and click on this name here, this link, and it'll take you to IRSC's Skillport page. You just put in your credentials. You have the information that I sent out in a course announcement for that, your IRSC email address and the password. Go ahead and log in. Once you're in, what you want to do is go ahead and click the learning plan. So click learning plan, and you have multiple classes. Just scroll to the class that we have, and in this case it's Kemp_CTS 2120. So you just click on that, and here's our textbook right here. And so obviously to open that, you can click on it or click launch. We'll just launch it up for you here. It comes up in another window. We'll give that a second. Okay. There's our chapters in the book. There's a couple of appendix and an index, list of figures and tables. I can full screen this if I want to by maximizing up here. And then within each chapter, there's a breakdown of different things. Let's go ahead and click risk concepts. So if you were in there reading along, you just scroll down reading, and when you get to the bottom, you just click the arrow over here to get to the next page. Okay, and if you wanted to go back, obviously previous page is right here. If I was looking for something in particular that I wanted to search for, that's the nice thing about ebooks, it does have a search capability for the book. You just click the search button here and type in here whatever it is you're searching for, and it'll bring it up, the results of the search up for you. Okay, so I'm going to close this down now, exit it. The next thing, now I just want to tell you that you could come to this and you just see this and you say, where is everything? Always click that down arrow right over here and it starts opening things up. So that opened up this and 2 folders in here for you. This is our textbook right here. Down here at the bottom you have an additional, that's just for you, it's like extra questions and things like that if you wanted to study for, if you're doing the Security Plus industry certification exam. So I just put it in there for you. Again, if this was closed, you might see it look like this. So the video tutorials, if you click on that, you have video tutorials for Module 1. Again, click our little down arrow. And these should relate to the video tutorials listed in Blackboard that you should go through and look at. If I go back to Blackboard, I should see those 3 right here, and I do. There they are. All right. And the I'm going to go ahead and bring this back up for video tutorials. Each module has one. Virtual labs. Now, virtual labs is something that I am providing for you to give you some hands-on experience, and there's a whole bunch of different little labs that you can do for security. I'm going to go ahead and open that up for you and show you what I mean by that. It just takes a second for the labs to open up. Okay, and I'm going to maximize that. And all these that you see here are different labs that you can do. A whole bunch of different things. For example, protocol analyzers. Let's say you wanted to take a look at that one. If you just click on it here, it's going to give you a little breakdown of some things. You see you're going to be looking at ART tables, using Wireshark to capture packets, port scanner, Nmap. So giving you a little hands-on demonstration with that. So when you start this, you'll go ahead and click Start. Opens up to you, gives you a diagram of the virtual lab that's going to be laid out for you. And here you see 3-4 machines and a router that are part of this lab is doing different things. Down here at the bottom is the next button. So that just, sort of like the first page is just a setup to show you what you're going to be doing. And machines, it might be one machine, it might be multiple machines, as in this case. There's different machines, and you just come up here to click power on. It'll power on that server. Just as a side note here, if you're doing any lab that has to do with a domain controller, always start that machine first, because that's your domain controller, and you'll see it come up, finally get logged in, and it'll show up over here. And just follow the step-by-steps. Like if I go to the next page here, it's going to show you, it's going to start the lab. So ART table, step 1. And it has you do this, and do this, screenshots. Now, you notice some of those screenshots are a little small. You do have the ability to click this little printer icon down here. What that's going to do is bring up all 7 pages of the lab on one page. And if you wanted to have that, use that to follow along, you could use that. And you can see if I scroll down here, oh yeah, I can see that. Nice screenshots there. Very clear. Usually what I like to do is do the old Control P, where I can just print this out as an Adobe PDF, save it, and then if I'm really lucky and have two screens, 2 monitors at home, that can make it nice too. Or you can just minimize, go up and down, back and forth to it. Actually, this one's going ahead and doing that one's doing all the labs within there. So I'll cancel that. Anyways, that's available for you to do. And those are your virtual labs located here. Again, there's that extra book for practice questions to go on later on and practice for if you want to use for prep of a industry certification test. All right, back to the module. So we looked at that. I've got a presentation / PowerPoint / PDF. I usually take my PowerPoints, make them PDFs, and you just click that, and it comes up, and this one happens to be in our first module, first chapter, about risk management. and some highlights from the chapter and things about risk management that you should know. It's a great place to start for a chapter before you start reading the chapter. Just let you know what your kind of material is going to be in it that you're looking at. All right. So I'm going to go back to Module 1, student activities. So that's a presentation. I saw the readings. Those were the 3 labs that we saw for Module 1. Those 3 right there. They always correspond to the labs that I have listed here. Those are like little virtual tutorials that they do in Skillport. You should get a lot out of those, and they're not too long at all. I always put a podcast in here. This is Security Now, latest news. This is a once a week podcast with the latest news. It links out latest news in security. It's a pretty popular site for security for a podcast. He's very thorough, goes on a lot of different things. So he'll have the latest one right here. You can scroll down. If you see some other ones, you can see all the episodes. If you want to go back and you're looking at something that, like he's talking about the Twitter hack here, Twitter's getting hit. Maybe even it might even go down someday. You never know. Just like this. Internet Explorer, it's time to go. Oh, it's not responding, so it can't go. So he always puts little funnies in that. This is just a summation of the podcast. So if you want to skip and get to some of it, there is a show notes that you can see here. If I click on that, there's a PDF that comes up for it. You can know where in the podcast that something may be of interest to you. For example, this is 16 pages. Let me just get down somewhere in here. On the 15th page. On the 15th page, he starts talking about remote utilities to use, and so and there's links out to other resources for those. So it's good. A lot of good information in there. Again, that comes out once a week. All right. So that's the activity portion of it. The only difference when you get to Module 4 is you'll have a practice exam for the midterm in there that you can take as many times as you want to prepare for the midterm. Speaking of the midterm will be used by the Honor Lock company. So you'll go into the test just like you normally do, but it's going to go out and go through and be live monitored by Honor Lock. There's some different directions to follow when you do that, and as we get closer to the midterm, I'll send those out for you. Very thorough instructions. They have great support. Their support is 24/7 with a 1-800 number. Again, I'll send that information out as we get closer to that date. The final exam will not be with Honor Lock. It'll be like a take-home. You get a time limit once you start the final. You'll have a time limit to finish it, and you get one shot, one turn at taking that. As with the midterm, also just one shot at that. So the assessments pretty much for each module are going to be a quiz, an exercise assessment, and a discussion board. Quizzes are about 30 multiple choice questions each. So the midterm's going to be over chapters 1 through 4. 4 chapters, about 30 questions in each. That's 120 questions from the practice exam. When you take the midterm exam, it'll randomly pull out 60 of those 100 and some questions that from the practice exam, of which are made up of all these 4 quizzes. Your assignments are right here. You see an attachment. There's a PDF here that you can look at. That's a good source to help you out with this question on the exam, on the exercise. So if I pull that up and just show that to you real quick. Just booting up now. Okay, so you got 2 questions here. Now it's in the book how to do this, but it's also, I put a little PDF for you to look at that you can open up that too and do it. Discussion board, you just click on the discussion here. It opens up to a page you can post your response. Here's the question right here. This document here below it, security controls, can be helpful in addressing this discussion, so you may want to take a look at that. Your submission has to be a minimum of 150 words. Please refer or cite any sources you get any information from when you do it, and you have to respond to one of your peers, one of your classmates' post on the discussion board, and that's the discussions. Any more information, we've got a course email here. You can click on and email me or anybody in the class. There's the announcement buttons for checking for any latest announcements. Right now, by default, the announcements come up as the home page in this because I don't want you to miss anything. That's why I'm linking things out from here for you to get to the modules or in the content area. Obviously, the content area, I would want to go see the recordings is in that. Your grades, if you want to see how you're doing with grades along here, it's right there. In this case, we're doing points, so you want to see how your points have been accumulating. And of course, do these Blackboard sessions. Just click this and you'll go to the actual session in Blackboard. Remember, if I go back to the course announcements, our Blackboard sessions are going to be live every Wednesday from 12:30 to 1:30. If you have any other questions, please shoot me an email. And next week, if you want to jump in on the Blackboard discussion, ask it whatever questions you have. If you want me to go over anything, I'll be happy to do that. But you've got me live for an hour to take advantage of that. The Blackboard Collaborate sessions will be recorded, and they'll be in that recordings folder. So if you're working, you can't make it, just check out the folder that is, remember, content, and under content is recordings. You just click into there and you'll be able to get it. Other than that, good luck with the course. Email me with any questions, and I'll talk to you soon.